Let's move now to the USA. It's less than a week before the US presidential election. Let's get your very latest news from our Washington correspondent, Simon Marks. Hi there, Simon. So plenty of voting going ahead. What's the latest?
Yeah, absolutely massive amounts of early voting. So much early voting that both the candidates, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, have already cast their ballots. So we're going to be denied those kind of traditional images on what I suppose we still rather quaintly call Election Day, given that next Tuesday is in fact the day when polls close. And for more than 75 million Americans, they've already put this election behind them, having cast their ballot. That number keeps leaping upwards every single day. The two candidates today, Sally, are focusing their fire on the all-important sunshine state of Florida. It is one of the crucial battleground swing states that will decide the outcome of this election. And while we saw polling today suggesting that nationally Joe Biden might have actually extended his lead over Donald Trump, CNN had a survey this morning suggesting that the Democrat now has a 12-point national advantage. In Florida, these two candidates are neck and neck. Joe Biden has a problem with Latino and Hispanic voters. They don't necessarily believe that he is going to be sufficiently hawkish on Cuba and Venezuela as they would like to see. So they're looking to get some kind of reassurance from him. Equally, retirees, pensioners in Florida are worried about Donald Trump. They don't think he's taken COVID-19 seriously enough. And remember, they potentially are very much on its front lines. And they're also worried by some of the antics that they believe he's exhibited on the campaign trail so far. So they're looking to hear a targeted, focused message from him. The president arrives in Florida buoyed by the latest economic data here. Record third quarter GDP, the bounce back that the president calls a super V recovery economically from COVID-19. But remember, there are also other records being set right now all over America for new infections, hospitalizations and deaths as a fresh wave of COVID-19 hits every single American state, raising huge questions about whether the economic data that showed recovery in the third quarter really is going to be sustainable going forward into next year.
And something that Donald Trump said a few days ago to try and woo female voters, who we understand are also a little bit sceptical about him. He said something along the lines of he's going to get their husbands back to work, which is a very 1950s thing to say. Do you think it might have had the desired effect on those women who are sceptical?
Well, I think that's a huge question. I mean, it did sound a bit like a line out of Mad Men, didn't it? Donald Trump was in Michigan. I think it was yesterday. The days all blur into one. But he was addressing a mostly blue-collar crowd in Michigan, where he is underwater and he's seeking to shore up his position. And he insisted that Joe Biden is a tremendous threat to manufacturing jobs, insisted again that Joe Biden had exported manufacturing jobs out of the United States and to places like China. And with regard to the recession, said to the crowd, we're putting your husbands back to work. I mean, that is certainly not necessarily a reflection of modern-day Michigan or modern-day America. And it certainly caught some fire on social media, that particular comment. But more broadly, Donald Trump recognizes that the numbers of women supporting him have dropped substantially in some of these key battleground states. He's been on the campaign trail on numerous occasions over the last week, saying, quite literally, it's a direct quote, "Suburban women, will you please like me?" I mean, he says he's joking when he says that, but at one point he said, look, I haven't got very much time to make a more detailed pitch for your vote. The sands are slipping through the hourglass, but I need you to come back to me. And that is redolent of the fact that if you look at 2016, Donald Trump's victory in 2016 was in large measure due to suburban women, particularly in the state of Pennsylvania. And he knows that he's got to do something to try and turn that situation around.
Thank you very much. That's our Washington correspondent, Simon Marks.